Oh, I'll try to get the 4 minutes here, so we got it.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are live again, this time for race 17 of the Stewart 34 Championship Series. I'm Sue Ellen from Live Sal Die, joined by Josh Wejon, and we just had race 16, which was won by Passion. And then tell me the minor placings in race 16 as we get ready for the 4-minute gun.
So yeah, we had Passion, closely followed by Prince Hal, who did an amazing job to get from OCS all the way back into the race and get a second place. Then Psyche, who unfortunately got done by Prince Hal on that last leg of the course. They got past. And then Precedent, who we saw at the bottom mark, sneaking inside everyone. I'm not sure how the other sailors are going to feel about that, but we'll hear all about it in the bar later, that's for sure.
Absolutely, there's always good banter back at the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron post Stewart 34 racing, where all of the race gets discussed, analysed, yet nothing really gets achieved. So here we are within 3 minutes, and Josh, how long have we got?
How long have we got? I'll just...
3:20 to go. Thank you to our driver and timekeep, Brad, who did a fantastic job of keeping us out of trouble at a very intense first bottom mark rounding.
Yes.
So we're going to get into position shortly, and we'll start to see the boats getting ready for this second race of the night, race 17 of the series. So if you are just tuning in for the first time, this is Stewart 34's. It's a championship series hosted by Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. Your host tonight is myself, Sue Ellen from Live Sal Die, and Josh Wejon, one of New Zealand's... Well, you're a pretty talented young sailor, aren't you?
Yeah.
One of New Zealand's best young sailors.
Just a big fan of the sport.
Just a big fan. You know what? That's all part of it. If you don't love it, why are you doing it?
Yeah, sorry I was absent a bit there, just trying to share it on my own Facebook as well. And if you're just tuning in, we're at 2 minutes 15 here. Make sure to stay watching till the bottom mark, because that was completely hectic last time, and I feel like in these lighter winds, this close racing, we're going to see a bit more of that.
That was some of the best racing. You know, you see these big boats coming right in together, action, there was rules being called, there was arms being waved around, there was tension. It was just brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, it was outstanding. 1:50 to go. The boats are all coming across on port, looking to set up for their start soon, trying to find a lane, and that's what they're all trying to achieve here. Is they're all doing their best to get clear air off that start line, preferably at the favoured end, but the most important part is clear air.
And we saw in race 17, Prince Hal, the series leader, was called OCS. They had to go back and restart, and while they went round the top mark for the first time in third last, they actually ended up coming second overall. So that's why they are at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, they just kind of worked their way through the fleet one at a time, really. They had great boat handling. They stayed in phase with the shifts. That's them there, just to the right of screen. They've just tacked over the blue boat, Prince Hal, series leader. We're just up about even with the boat in the line as the fleets start to stack up. It's just gone 1 minute. Everyone's fighting for the boat here. We're above the boat, and they're all right up here above lay. Off to the right there though, that's Psyche and Playboy, who both look to be taking the pin.
30 seconds to go. Do you think that Psyche's going to be too early here?
I think they're definitely too early. They should luff up head to wind here and just try and create a big gap between them and Playboy so they can get the bow down. Who's getting shut out at the boat here? Is that Princess shut out by Passion? They're still going to have a crack. I don't think that's generally acceptable.
Gutsy movement, yeah, but you don't really want your wooden boat running into the Galloway boat. Lots and lots of communication on that start line. This is a very, it's a good fleet for communication.
Yeah, a whole lot of yelling. It's outstanding.
You can see that Playboy in the far of your screen actually got the best start there, but once again, series leader Prince Hal.
Yeah, Prince Hal still, they'd be pretty happy with that start. You know, they've got clear air. They're a decent way ahead of Playboy. I think they're about 12 points or more ahead of Playboy, so they'll just be doing their best to make sure to keep getting top threes for the rest of it and staying consistent.
First few boats have started to tack off. Playboy is still the boat furthest out to the left. Prism just going in for attack, and they do a better tack than last time. They had the Commentator's Curse last time. Yep, much better than before.
Yeah, also being the first leg, you'd hope that all the ropes are tidy, you know, nothing to get tangled at the moment.
Although they didn't have a lot of time between races to get themselves prepared. That's the great thing about this short course racing. You have to be 100% on your game, and anybody who kind of loses concentration, even just for a moment, it can be backdoor Barry. And we are coming up to the top mark. It's probably, the course is maybe a little bit longer than I thought it would be for this light racing, but that's all right, more airtime.
Yeah. And right now you're just looking at Prince Hal, series leader. And off to the left, that's Playboy, who are attacking and looking to do their best to cross. This is going to be a close one.
This is a take no prisoner class.
Prince Hal putting their bow up, trying to get close.
Playboy coming out on top there though. Guy Pilkington just adjusting his sunglasses, looking rather suave and cool as he takes the lead in this first race.
Yeah, Guy Pilkington.
Second race.
He used to be an underwear model, so you know he does make sure he looks good for this racing. True story.
I really don't need that vision on a Monday evening here out on the water, but thank you, Josh, for that fun fact about Guy Pilkington, who apparently used to be an underwear model. I don't think it's going to help his sailing career though.
Yeah. So they're pretty close to leyline here, coming across on port. Off behind them, Prince Hal's just leading Psyche back. And they look a little bit knocked. They're kind of pointing straight at Playboy's stern at the moment. Off to the right as well, we've got Prism seem to be splitting off. So we've got two bunches at the moment. Be interesting to see who comes out in front.
So really, actually, good fact that nobody really went up the middle of the course. The fleet either went left or went a hard left or a hard right. So it'll be interesting to see who actually does come out with the advantage on this first leg of race 17 of the Stewart 34 Championship Series here in New Zealand.
There you go, that's the bunch that decided to split right now. I personally would have backed myself to go left a bit more. There's a lot deeper water there and the tide's on its way in, which is going straight up the course. So I'd rather be out the left looking up, just to stay in that tide and get ripped up to the top mark.
So you're saying you'd like to be Playboy right about now, or Psyche? I'd like to be Playboy right about now.
I'd like to be Playboy, exactly.
Maybe that's why Guy has a boat called Playboy, because he did used to be the underwear model, as you like to point out to us.
Well, I haven't seen a Playboy mag, but I feel like they don't always have their underwear on there.
And we just went from PG to another level. So coming up to the top mark. Thank you very much for that insight there, Josh. We do have Playboy though, is leading this race. They will come around to this top mark as we sort our wires out here. They will come around to the top mark in first, and it does actually look like those boats that were off into the left have benefited. Like you said, Josh, that's where you would be. The boats that are left are the boats going around first. Playboy, Guy Pilkington.
Yeah, just coming into the top mark right now. The pole's coming up. They're getting ready to hoist. Up goes the spinnaker. On go the vocal cords. Prince Hal just behind them coming into the top mark. Oh, and they are very close. Are we going to see boats touching here?
Oh, that was really, really close.
Playboy and Psyche.
Had to keep room because they were the windward boat. Coming around now, back up to the top mark. We've got Prince Hal, who has gone around in second, Psyche in third, Prism in fourth, followed by Pahi. Much better race for Pahi, who were last around the top mark in race 16.
Pretty tight roundings going on here. That's Precedent just choosing to tack inside of Princess, closely followed by Passion. Not a good tack for them, but they probably had to do it there. No infringement by the looks of things at this stage, but pretty close racing. Passion coming around. Brace already out. They're ready to go. Patere, Spinnaker on the bow there.
Not a good race for Passion. They did lead and they did win the race 16, the race beforehand. Not a great Spinnaker set. Joey Allen calling everybody to just hurry up and sort themselves out in the back of the boat there. No.
Man, I wish we could get some onboard audio for some of these teams. It's probably hard to hear over our mics, but they are pretty vocal.
Well, that is one thing that Live Sail Die is working on to improve in the future, is our live stream coverage. We've got a few ideas. We just need to find a budget.
Yeah.
And that will include onboard, offboard, and lots of action.
Pretty good coverage here at the moment anyway. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Feel free to let us know if you want to see anyone. Let us know if you've got any questions. Happy to answer. We've got that up on our screen here as well. As we make our way back towards the front of the fleet. That's Psyche with the yellow kite. Looking like they're in about 3rd or 4th place. Prism, blue kite just outside them. Pahi closest to us. 2nd place off to the left of screen there is Prince Hell with the yellow and blue Spinnaker. And Playboy is in the lead, out of shot, but a decent lead to Playboy. But this is where you want to be. This is the tight race back here.
Well, actually, you'd probably want to be Playboy, but this is where you want the coverage to be, actually seeing the action. And for those that watched race 16, you'll see that the bottom mark was hectic.
Absolutely, and I think we're in for a treat yet again here, as Prism, Psyche and Pahi are all pretty close, and so's Prince Hell. We may see another triple stacker here at the bottom.
And let's see if our boat driver Brad can keep us out of trouble, yet close enough to the action so that you can see it all like he did last time. That was a bit stressful, but he held it together. He was cool, calm and collected, unlike the yelling and screaming matches that we had on board the Stewart 34's.
Yeah, Prince Hell leading the jibe back towards the bottom mark. The bottom mark's just kind of straight through us to them, just behind where we are now.
And if you are just tuning in, that is an absolutely beautiful sight. A Stewart 34, the design is now 60 years old, here doing short course windward leeward racing on a Monday night. Where would you prefer to be? Nowhere. This is the only place to be on a Monday night.
There's your race leader, Playboy, returning fire after a 5th place finish in the last race. Now with a promising lead as they round the bottom mark. Guy Pilkington, nice and calm and collected right now.
It's not something that we see a lot of, but he's done well in that mark rounding. He had nobody there to annoy him, that's why. Here we go as the peloton, as they call it, coming up to the bottom mark now for the first time in race 17.
Prince Hell just gone past there. They are clear of the others, but what you want to watch here is Pahi closest to us. Psyche, the yellow boat, just outside them, and Prism outside them. Pahi have buoy room at this point. Psyche are going to do their best to stay hot on their tail around there as Prism come in, and just about to come to your screen you've got Princess as well, who are going to try and capitalise off this. Do you think they're going to stick it in there? It looks like they're having a crack. They have no room on Prism.
That's gutsy and ballsy. He gave it a go. He's going to do it.
There's no way he's got rights in there. That is, he should do some turns for this, absolutely.
Wow, someone needs to actually pull the main on as well so they can go around the mark. That was not nice.
That is shocking.
Oh dear.
Prism having words about that. Maybe we can get in close and hear it. I feel like it's not the last of it.
No, I can see a red flag flying. That is signalling that Prism is not happy with that pretty bad mark rounding by Princess. Red flag is flying. That means that Prism is going to protest Princess. Princess probably need to do some turns to ratify that situation. Here we are with Prism. They got that red flag flying that you can see. That was not nice for them.
That was pretty calm from Prism though for Stewart 34 racing.
I know, we wanted action, we wanted language, we wanted good communication, but yeah, they actually held themselves together together in that one, maybe because they know they're being broadcast around the world.
Yeah, and we're just making our way back up to the leaders here. We've got Playboy just off in the sunset, and they led last time after going left on the upwind, and now they've chosen to go pretty hard right.
Now that's not what you wanted to do. You reckon that the left-hand side was favoured, but do you think that maybe they were just trying to do a loose cover of the fleet?
Maybe. I mean, it was all the boats who we kind of think of as being the fast boats who were the first ones around the top, so that would make sense. But I know the tide's out there. I think it's just shifted right a little bit off these cliffs out of shot behind us. So I think that's what Playboy were after.
So this race, I'd actually say, would probably be a little less action than what we had in race 16. You can see that Playboy is taken a really nice lead in this race, which means that we don't have a lot of onboard comms from Playboy, who are usually quite vocal and quite hilarious to listen to.
Yeah.
See Guy Pilkington on the helm. Guy actually works at Doyle Sails, so it means that, you know, he's got good Doyle Sails on his Playboy there. Now, do you think that sail selection and, you know, designer choice plays a big impact in this class, or do you think that the one design keeps it pretty fair?
I think the one design keeps it pretty fair. There's some rules like you can't have fully cross-cut sail. Sorry, you can't have fully like radial cut sails. You know, you've got to have a cross-cut genoa, I'm pretty sure. So there's just various things in there to kind of limit people splashing out big time on sails and getting an advantage there, which is a really good thing for a one design class. Keeps it affordable, you know.
And we've had some pretty famous New Zealand sailors, actually international sailors, race this class. Like you said before, Roy Dixon, Rod Davis, you know, just some of the names of people who have sailed this. But even just in this fleet, we've got Leonard Takahashi, we've got Guy Pilkington, we've got Joey Allen, we've got lots of guys who are on board racing this classic design, which is now celebrating 60 years of sailing here in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Just coming into your shot there, that is the top mark as we make our way onto the last leg. Playboy setting the spinnaker. Pretty big spinnakers on these boats.
You can see here that Pahi has managed to get up into second place.
That's impressive. So they've got the better of Psyche, who I think may have led them around there, or was it Prince Hal?
It was definitely Prince Hal and Psyche, and Pahi's managed to, you know, wave a magic wand and put themselves into a really good position coming into the final downwind. And now it's Psyche and Prince Hal who will play games at this top mark, but Psyche bearing away to give Prince Hal the room which they had. There goes Psyche for their tack.
Yeah, Psyche just dipping Prince Hal as they came into that top mark. Prince Hal, another windward set for Prince Hal. Psyche having to do a tack set, the pole's going on, the spinnaker's coming up. Tim Snedden, big man Sneddy.
Relatively quiet.
Pulling up the spinnaker.
Definitely not the fastest of hoists that we've seen by this team. You can see up here, the sail, the spinnaker there just flicking out. A beautiful big Hyundai logo. I'm going to take this opportunity to shout out to Hyundai New Zealand, who are a sponsor of Live Sail Die and who have been great supporters of what we do for many, many years. So great work by Hyundai for helping us out. But here we are on Psyche. And it's a bit quiet, Josh.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame really that, you know, that it's an irregular crew, you know, they don't sail with the same team all the time, so their boat handling's not quite up there with the likes of Playboy and especially Prince Hal, so they didn't really make the most of that close lead that Prince Hal had on them. I expected them to have a better set than that and really do their best to get ahead as we work our way back up towards the front of the fleet. And Pahi have made an appearance in second place, what looks to be a pretty promising second place to Playboy. Prince Hal still in third place, nice and consistent. Cheers, Jeff, for the shout out to the boat driver, Brad, doing a great job tonight, getting us right up and close to the action.
I was going to wait till after the race for that, but good work. Oh, we can't have him lose focus. We've just, we just pulled a little wire out. Just one moment, everybody, and we'll bring this back in a second here. There we go. Electronics and water do not mix, but it's okay, we're back. We've got some stabilisation here. We're just looking at Parky. We're coming down, we've got our race leader for race 17 will be Playboy. Again with another beautiful Hyundai Spinnaker.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like the race committee have the AP over A flag as well, so it looks like we're probably going into another one after this.
Fantastic, that's what we like to see. They do have up to 4 races that they can race on a Monday night, and the only thing that will stop 4 races happening is if it is too windy, no wind, or we lose sunshine. Coming up to the finish.
Pretty promising lead by Playboy. Impressive to see they got straight back into it, you know, after a bit of a disappointing first race tonight. Managed to recover. That was pretty solid from them. As we make our way to the finish line, and it is Playboy who will take the lead of the second race tonight, the 17th race in the series.
And Menace Yachting, who's just said no audio. I've just turned our audio up, and we definitely do have audio. If anyone else has got any feedback about the comms and what you're seeing, please just let us know, but pretty certain that we've got audio. So if someone else could let us know if they're hearing well, that would be great. Pahi about to cross the finish line in second, a great race for them.
Yeah, really good for Pahi. Prince Hell
in third, another great race by the series leader.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Mark and his team are just so good at, is just staying consistent. You know, even though they were over in that first race, they still got a second, which was pretty impressive, but they're just doing their best to always have a solid result. Leonard's got his hat off.
Oh, that's a sign of frustration, especially in the M-Class fleet that I race in. There's one guy in particular, his hat comes off. Actually, just quickly, there you go. There is Princess doing their circles and doing their turns after that infringement at the bottom mark. So they are now in the clear, and hopefully that one doesn't go to the
It looks like they're about to infringe on someone else.
They should have actually done this. They should have done their circles a lot sooner than that.
You can't do it this late.
No, that actually. And there you go. They've just caused more trouble. Not a good race for Princess.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're meant to do it straight away, at least on that same leg. So Princess there, not.
Yeah, actually,
not really
you
doing
guys
it properly.
Are bang on there. Beautiful sunset. It helps that there's some pretty boats in the front of it as well. There's
Tight
Passion.
Finish. And it looks like Passion is only just leading Prism here.
So yeah, the hat comes off when there is frustration. And Leonard Takahashi took his hat off on Psyche. There's no hats to be worn on Passion, but I'm going to sense that there's going to be some frustration on board that boat. They did win race 16, the first race of the evening. Not a good one for Joey Allen and his team.
Giving his team a pat on the back still. Just reassuring them, you know, we've got the next one, boys. No worries. You got to get back on track. You know, there's not a long break between these races, so they got to get back to being ready, clean the boat up, and get ready to go again.
And here we've got the last boat in the Spinnaker division coming down to finish in last place. That's okay, as long as they're out here. That's the most important thing.
Pātere. Their boat is looking stunning though. They must have had a pretty big refit or something. They've got a full paint job at the moment.
And I just realised I've got a microphone stuck to my lapel, so even though I whispered, you probably heard that. All right, now that is race 17 done. We are going to go into another race, so please stay tuned. Check back to our Facebook page in just a few mere moments, and we'll be going live with race 18 of the Stewart 34 Championship Series here in Auckland. Yesterday and all last week we were in Sydney for the 18-foot skiffs, but now we're back in Auckland to bring you some great action from one of our most favourite harbours in the world. So stay tuned. Josh Weejohn, myself, Sue Ellen, and our driver Brad will be back shortly.